Okay, welcome to another class on commas. I hope you can see now that the reason it's good to study punctuation at the end of this course is because we repeat so many different things that we have already studied on the course. And even the interruptions, actually, these are things we have studied on the course. So firstly, guys, the noun of direct address. This is such an important comma. Yeah, let's eat grandma. I think everybody can understand this classic example which is on the internet everywhere. Why do we need a comma here? Well, because we don't want to eat our grandmother. We're probably talking to her and saying, hey grandma, let's eat. And so if you are talking to someone and you use their name, every single time you will see a comma. This is one of the strictest commas that editors obey, and what I mean is writers never miss it out. It's always there. It's not like, you know, the main clause, comma, fanboy's main clause. Sometimes writers miss that one. They very often do, in fact. And the same with sub, comma, main. Sometimes writers miss that one. They very often do. But they never miss commas for lists, and they never miss comma for the noun of direct address. Here is a sentence from 1984. You haven't a real appreciation of Newspeak, Winston. Yeah, and of course, Winston is who O'Brien is talking to. And to show that he's talking to someone, we put a comma before the name. Okay, now don't get confused and start putting commas before every name, because that will be totally incorrect. It's only when you are talking to the person and you use their name as a term of address. But it doesn't have to be a name. It could be sir, it could be captain, it could be professor, it could be miss, it could be whatever word you're using to get that person's attention. And I just like this example because it shows how important it is. If you forget it sometimes, it totally changes the meaning of the sentence. So it's one to be very aware of. Okay? Now, secondly, conjunctive and sentence adverbs. I would even claim that conjunctive adverbs kind of become sentence adverbs when they're used in the middle of one main clause. They're very conjunctive when they're joining two main clauses, where we often need a semicolon. But when they interrupt one main clause, so really they are a type of interruption. When they interrupt one main clause and you feel like it's a strong interruption, then you need commas. They aren't always commaed, the conjunctive adverbs especially. They're not always, but they're often in a position where there's a strong interruption. But if you feel the interruption is weak, you don't have to use the commas. Here are some examples. Is it not crystal clear, then, comrades, that all the evils of this life of ours spring from the tyranny of human beings? Now, I hope you can see here that this is the conjunctive adverb. Yeah, this one here, it's a conjunctive adverb, and it's interrupting. Is it not crystal clear that? Yeah, it's interrupting. It's the first interruption. But then comrades is the noun of direct address. He's calling them comrades. So comrades needs a comma as well. This is conjunctive adverb, noun of direct address. Okay, this is from Animal Farm, of course. And notice you've got two interruptions there between the is it not crystal clear that. Okay, so you can have two interruptions. You can have three or four, certainly. Okay, let's keep going. Here's another example. The war, therefore, if we judge it by the standards of previous wars, is merely an imposture. Now, of course, therefore is the conjunctive adverb, and you can feel that that's a very strong interruption. If we move it to different positions, and you can with adverbs, if you say the war, if we judge it by the standards of previous wars, is merely an imposture, therefore, if you put it right at the end of the sentence, you might not use a comma.